Hey there, it's Coach Karen from The Watering Mouth giving you the mindset and recipes to help you eat to live and love it for good. Today, I want to kind of help you understand when it's time to quit keto. I'm hearing a lot of people lately that are super unhappy on keto and wanting to transition into the eat to live lifestyle. So I thought I would touch on that today. Do any of these scenarios ring a bell to you? So maybe you've lost a ton of weight in the beginning, but now you've plateaued and you can't stand the thought of eating one more egg, right? Maybe things aren't flowing smoothly, if you know what I mean. You don't have that energy to work out, your leg cramps are insane, and artificial sweeteners have become your very best friend. I hear a lot of people tell me they're doing keto in partnership with a friend or a significant other, that they are really doing it to support them. But their significant others are seeing the results, or their friends are seeing the results and thriving, and they just aren't. They hate it. They're unhappy. They're miserable. Maybe you're starting to wonder, well, if all those cancer-fighting properties of food are in fruits and vegetables, what exactly am I doing to myself here? This doesn't feel right. But everyone keeps telling you that this is the way that humans used to eat. So you feel kind of torn, right? It doesn't feel right, but you're also super terrified to go off keto and start gaining weight again. You feel wobbly as far as not eating fruits and vegetables go. You want them, and at some point you start to wonder, like, am I ever going to eat them again? You are just so carb deprived that you're fantasizing about those donuts and chocolates and all those foods that you're not eating. Maybe constantly teetering on a carbohydrate binge. You feel dizzy when you stand up, but your face looks angular, so what the heck? Maybe you should keep on going? Except you just can't possibly eat one more cheese stick. So that's how it goes. On again, off again. You commit, you recommit. You want bread so badly that you're snarfing down copious amounts of cheese and hamburgers and fatty meats and bacon. Bacon. I said it. A known carcinogen, and you're eating it all the time. Maybe you're watching cartoons with your kids or your grandkids and totally drooling over those cereal commercials. And you can't even sit down with your family to eat because you know that temptation is just far too great to eat the foods that they're eating. So really, you're stuck doing something that you hate because you're terrified about what will happen if you quit keto. I get it. After my second child was born, I was scheduled for minor surgery, and I ignored what I knew, which is that humans can get all the protein they need from plants, and we are not protein deprived. I got sucked into that cultural narrative that copious amounts of protein will make me strong, healthy, and recover faster. Well, I barely lasted 3 days, and then the thought of one more chicken breast just made me want to gag. And looking back at that experience, I start to wonder, why do people put themselves through this? But I know the answer is that people put themselves through this because they're desperate. You get into keto thinking that it makes sense, that this will be the one diet that changes things for you. And after a while, it kind of appears to, and that's that seductive nature of the keto diet. But it keeps you in a yo-yo, and it's not sustainable. So you go off of it, and then you gain weight. And then you go back on it, thinking this time I'm going to do better. This time, right, I'll be able to eat bacon and chicken and butter for 5 months straight. But when you can't, you think something's wrong with you, right? That binging at home alone with all those holiday pies and all those carbs that you just can't eat on keto happens. And then you beat yourselves up. The pounds pile back on, and when they go back on, you think maybe I should go back on keto. And the cycle goes around and around, and you end up getting fatter and fatter. So the reason you get fatter and fatter is because this dirty little secret behind keto is that you aren't just losing fat, you're losing water weight and muscle. So when you lose the muscle, it drains your metabolism. When you start eating those carbs again and the regular way that you were eating, that weight piles right back on. And where your muscles used to be, those muscles that you lost doing keto, now it's being replaced with fat. And then maybe your blood sugar seems fine while you're doing the keto, but the moment you put those carbs back into your life, you're even more insulin resistant than you were before. Your body is processing carbohydrates worse now than before keto. Okay? And that happens because you've been gunking up your insulin receptors with so much fat. So taking the carbs out of your diet just doesn't solve the root cause of insulin resistance. It only appears to because you're not having any carbohydrates in your system. And most likely you're in more of an inflammatory state now than you were before because of all of that excess animal protein and saturated fat. Listen, people who eat the fewest amount of carbohydrates have a 35% increased risk of dying of cancer. So why would you want to do this to yourself? I know you risk all these things. You're suffering through this horrible diet because you're terrified to gain weight and you're desperate to lose it. So please hear this. If you get nothing else out of my video today, I want you to know that when I went seriously plant-based, eating a Nutritarian type diet, my weight effortlessly plunged to 102 pounds. I'm never hungry, never. And the scale doesn't deviate. It's stuck there at 102 pounds. And I eat carbohydrates. This is how the body was intended to work. Eating this way is how you can get so much energy and have that weight just drop off of you. You get everything you need from fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. And the only carbs you need to stay away from are those carbs at the Italian restaurant, that big, huge bowl of pasta and, that plate of bread that they're bringing out to you. When I was losing weight, I was eating so many carbohydrates. Beans, starchy vegetables, rice, vegetables, fruit. Listen, you eat about 3 pounds of food a day. Where are you getting your 3 pounds from? Are they coming from foods that are increasing your health or coming from foods that decrease it? So I think right now is the time for you to quit keto and start following my easy plan to lose weight. So what we do in my Ease program, which is a one-on-one coaching program, is that we ease into this Nutritarian lifestyle. We eat greens, we add fiber and color, right? In the form of fruits and vegetables, nuts and grains if you want. You subtract those processed foods and you exercise your voice, your brain, and your body. I help you create a way of eating that's personalized to you. So it makes cooking simple and easy. You're not gonna spend hours in the kitchen. Making your meals could quite possibly take less time than ordering takeout. You save money and the impact on your budget will be just noticeable and profound. But even more important is in my one-on-one coaching program, we work on the mental part of exercising your mind. You're no longer gonna be craving these foods. You're gonna learn how to overcome emotional eating. Could you imagine that? Not being an emotional eater ever again? Like, could you actually imagine having a bag of cookies or candy or whatever that food is in your house that you just can't stop desiring? What if it could be there and you didn't even desire it? Could you imagine no longer beating yourself up mentally, being actually proud of how you look in your clothes, creating a life by design? These are the results you can expect from my one-on-one program. So if you're interested in working with me, I can offer you a free discovery call where we can figure out exactly what you need help doing, what you've been doing incorrectly in the past, and how having this knowledge will help you reach your goals in the future. The link to book with me is in the session notes below, or you can go to www.thewateringmouth.com/coach with Karen. If you are ready to change your life and your health and your weight, let's talk.